What is going on, guys? It is Cameron with Lebanon Ford Performance, and this is the all-new 2024 Mustang Darkhorse. All right, so of course this is the all-new Darkhorse, the beautiful, the most coveted Mustang, the hottest one out right now, the one that everyone wants and everyone wants to see. And we are very lucky to have an example that's spec'd out the way this one is right now. This one is spec'd in the Vapor Blue metallic paint, which looks absolutely stunning, especially in any sort of lighting. We have kind of a sundown lighting right now, and it looks almost like a bluish gray, but in the sun, it's like a nice, bright, very metallic, like pale blue. It's so good. And then in the shade, it's more of like a grayish blue. It's a very nice color. It's an incredible color that the 2024 Mustang comes in. This one is equipped with the standard wheel. It does not have the carbon fiber wheels, which I actually prefer. I think these wheels are some of the most beautiful wheels that Ford offers, especially on the Mustang. Definitely the best S650 Mustang wheel you can get is these ones on the Darkhorse, and it just ties in so perfectly with the color. It's like a dark matte gray. And it's not just straight up black like any other washed out black wheel is going to look. It really gives character and adds a lot of definition to the actual wheel. This one also does have the graphics package on it. So it has the black graphic behind the hood extractor and the graphics on the side of the hood that say Mustang Darkhorse down the sides. And speaking of the hood, some key differences within the Darkhorse I will be going over within this video. But staying with the hood, it does have a much larger, more intense hood extraction vent to suck all the hot air that's coming out of the engine to keep it cool for optimal temperatures. So this car can perform and run as healthy and as strong as possible. Now, speaking of how it runs and how it performs, a couple of differences between the standard S650 GT versus this one is it did get a horsepower and torque bump up to 500 horsepower and 418 pound-feet of torque, so it is a little bit more punchy, and it will accelerate a little bit harder than your standard S650 will. And this one specifically is putting all that power down through a Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. So as somebody who is absolutely head over heels in love with the GT350, it was great to feel the Tremec back and how just engaging and how sharp and direct each shift was. It's a great transmission for a great car, and I loved it in the GT350. It just felt so heavy and so like race car inspired. I'm glad that this is also getting that Tremec attention that it so much deserves. I mean, it really feels like a track inspired car when you're driving down the road. Especially kind of going back to the wheel area, the wheels are wrapped in some super high performance, super ultra sticky summer tires, which are the Pirelli Trofeo RS tires. The brakes have also been enlarged front and rear. The brakes are absolutely huge. I believe it is a 6-piston Brembo caliper up front, a 4-piston Brembo caliper in the back, and a 2-piece rotor. It just stops on a dime. It's a very well handling vehicle. You can definitely tell Ford had track days and corners and not just standard straight point-to-point line style race in mind. They definitely designed this for the racetrack. And with them redesigning it for the track does come a lot of differences like I mentioned. So another huge difference versus the standard Mustang is you do get a fully revised front end. Pretty much everything has been touched. You have larger brake duct cooling vents within the bumper. You have a more aggressive front spoiler that adds a good amount of downforce and kind of keeps the car more planted than your standard front end. The grille is fully revised with larger openings to cool the engine down, and it also looks a lot better as well with the grille being larger and the updated cooling ducts all the way through, all the way on the bottom. Some other key differences that you will notice between this and the standard 650 if you're driving it is the interior is pretty much completely different. The seats have a beautiful blue leather with blue stitching on the sides and some nice black ultra suede inserts on the back and the seat bottom on both driver, passenger, and rear seats. They're all completely upholstered the exact same, so it is a very uniform, great look inside. And if you do opt for that Tremec TR3160 6-speed manual transmission, you do get this beautiful burnt blue titanium shift knob, which I think is one of the coolest parts of the interior. There's so many blue accents and blue cues on the inside. It's a very cool interior on this car, and that shift knob really ties everything together. Yeah, with this car, you can definitely tell Ford was trying to hone its blue oval reputation by giving it a lot of blue inspiration, from the huge Brembos, like I mentioned earlier, to the interior, to just a lot of little hidden features around the vehicle. But the one thing you will not find on this car is a single Ford emblem. In fact, the Darkhorse has all unique emblems to this car completely all the way around. From the front prancing horse, you do get a stealthy, dark prancing horse that you only find on this, and all the other badges on the car are all Darkhorse badges. So you on both side fenders and the rear deck lid, you do get that iconic Darkhorse emblem that looks so sinister, especially on a car like this. It fits right in. Sticking with talking about the aerodynamics, like I had mentioned, the front splitter, you do get a much larger rear wing on this one, even versus the performance pack that you would get on your standard 650. You do get a huge rear wing on the back of this car to help keep you super planted on racetracks and give this car as much downforce as physically possible. And this one in specific does take it that step further because it is equipped with the handling package. So you do get the larger wing than your standard Mustang, but on the handling package, it does become more aggressive by adding an even larger gurney flap on the back to give you more downforce. Also with the handling package, you do get stiffer springs and stiffer sway bars front and rear to completely minimize any sort of body roll that you're gonna feel while on the track. This wheel and tire setup is also unique for the handling package. It is insane, the specs of these wheels. Front, you have a 19 by 10.5. And in the rear, you have a 19 by 11 inch wheel. And of course, the tires to accommodate that are those super sticky Pirelli Trofeo RS tires. And you have a 315 in the rear and a 305 in the front. And it's just absolutely grip for days when you catch the conditions right. With this being such a track car, these tires are optimized for perfect conditions. They are created to stick to the ground on a hot day. So these cold Ohio winters are not optimal for it. So it's definitely not going to grip as well as it is going to when you catch them at their prime, but the car still drives very well even on cold tarmac. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a very special car to be able to bring a video to you guys on. A lot of these are spoken for already, so the fact that I was actually able to get my hands on this and take it out and provide you guys with this fantastic content on this car, I feel very lucky to be able to do that. Just to add this to my repertoire of cars that I've driven and cars that I've experienced, I am very proud to say that I've experienced this car in its perfect form with the 6-speed and the handling package. I absolutely love this car. So definitely keep your eyes out throughout our social medias and on our website to see more of this car. If you want to order or buy a Darkhorse, we do have allocations still, and we are ready to spec and build as many of these as we possibly can. So if you're interested in getting a Darkhorse, this one or any other car that you are interested in from the Ford lineup, definitely give us a call at 513-932-1010, or you can check out this car and a lot more online at LebanonFordPerformance.com.